sad that you watch the Lorcana Dads.
All right, hey, and welcome back to the Lorcana Dads. It's been a couple of weeks because Jason and I have been a wee bit. We've had family stuff, job stuff. We've had life, which, you know, life and your family is the most important thing ever. That's why we're the Lorcana Dads and not the Lorcana Card Geniuses. So anyway, Jason, let's dive right in because Jason's got to go to work. I got to be up at 2 a.m. to drive back to my job. So I'm going to bed when he goes to work. It's been a wild 2 weeks. I think, Jason, you said you wanted to talk about, there were some huge tournaments. So let's dive right in. I'm going to let you take it away on the tournaments. I haven't been able to research them, and you seem pretty knowledgeable on them.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research beforehand. So we had the two big tournaments on the previous weekend. That was about 7 days ago at this point. They had the Pixelborn tournament, the pack, hosted by Thea Beastie. It was a 1.7K prize with 186 players.
1.7K.
Yeah. And to show you where the meta's going, everybody was worried about Ruby Amethyst dominating again. There were quite a few decks. I think there was 5 in the top 16. But none of those Ruby Amethysts made it to the top 4. The top 4 was Emerald Amethyst Bounce, which is showing to be a good deck as long as I'm not playing it. Your favorite Amethyst Steel.
I didn't play it well either, so don't feel bad.
Right. It's you know, you got to be the right pilot for the right deck.
Well, then you said my favorite Amethyst Steel, which I still haven't built. I haven't played, so I haven't built an Amethyst Steel. I've got a steel green ready for next league if I ever get to go. Jobs kept me so busy, but the Amethyst Steel is what I'm going to play eventually. I just trying to do other stuff. But it's nice. Go ahead.
I tried it in person on last Sunday, and I built it to counter other steel decks, and none of the steel players showed up.
So you had to deal with the aggro then.
Yes. Yeah. And it wasn't really meant to out aggro the aggro decks.
Right.
So back to that tournament, Amber Steel Songs took second.
Okay.
Which is showing to be a very good deck, better than I thought it was, and kind of a consistent early thoughts about the meta. Everybody was kind of down about Amber Steel Songs, but it's showing to be really tough. And then first place was Sapphire Steel.
That's interesting to see that. That's really cool to see come back in.
Well, in our interview with Carl said that Sapphire Steel was going to be a big meta killer this time. I think that was Moyen was the pilot for that deck. They took first place. And then we had the other big one in Atlanta, the 8K, at Charlie's Collectible Show. They had 226 players in person and not an official tournament. It was, you know, just a collectible show, had an in-person draw, 226 players. That's really good for the game.
Yes. Well, we're going to get to a minute to talk about organized play in that event, which I tried to register for. We won't even get into that yet. How did the meta pan out there?
Again, you had Ruby Amethyst in the top 16. I think it was 6 decks, but none of those placed in the top 4 in the traditional sense. There was a Ruby Amethyst, but it was an anti-meta deck. I think it was more aggro tuned. Steel Song had 2 decks in the top 4, and one of those took first place.
Okay.
And then Amethyst Steel was third place again.
Well, I think to me, what I'm seeing is what I think maybe combating the Ruby Amethyst is those 2 cards that we've got this game that take songs out of your hand.
Yes, Bare Necessities.
Because they're getting rid of Be Prepared.
Yeah.
Bare Necessities, Ursula, you know, they're getting rid of it, which I think that's what's making that Ruby Amethyst a little less powerful.
Yeah. So you kind of have to mulligan out of the Be Prepared and hope you draw into it in turn 7.
Yeah, hope you get it before somebody can take it out of your hand.
Right.
I'm really excited to see that the meta. Well, what's nice is there's not a hardcore meta right now. And I think that's the beauty of the game with the way the cards have added is it's allowing you to start playing different stuff. And we don't have to see the same thing over and over again.
Right.
You know,
You have a lot of diversity in that.
Yeah.
You had a lot of Ruby Sapphire, the Ruby Sapphire popsicle deck, tuned with the dime, and there's a lot of variations to that Ruby Sapphire deck.
Yeah.
But the Lucky Dime is showing to be pretty good, and it's called a Lucky Gaston version.
Yeah.
Where you tap, you have the Gaston, the 6-drop, where you quest for 3, and use the Lucky Dime to get 3 more off of him, or more if you have more dimes.
Yeah.
So it's showing to be a pretty fast deck also.
I think that kind of, talking about the introduction of the new cards, and that's what's making this work. Because there's still new cards to a lot of people.
Right.
I mean, we're getting them. That brings us to really what happened on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday or Thursday?
I think it was Wednesday.
Wednesday, we had the lore cast, and we got to me, it was cool watching it. You got to see some faces that we've been seeing on the Discord, and we got to see who they were. But man, did they drop some bombs on us this time, Jason.
A lot of reveals.
A lot of reveals. For me, the most interesting thing and I've been really researching, looking into it, is the way that the way we're going to play competitively.
Yeah.
It's going to be when you go to these competitive events, and they've released all 6 of them. The first day of play are only going to be, you're going to play 2 matches with each player.
Yes.
So if Jason and I sit down at a table, the way the new play is going to work, Jason and I sit down at a table, we roll a dice. If I win that dice draw, I pick whether I go first in the first or second game.
Mm-hmm.
And then now points are different. Jason wins the first game, I win the second game, we both get 1 point.
Yes.
Which previously you didn't get any points. You got a point for a draw, 3 points if you won the match. Now you're still going to get 3 points if you win both matches. But now those players that maybe they're not the greatest player, but they can pilot their deck well enough to get 1 win, it's rewarding them in a way. And it's Katie, my wife and I were talking about it, and I really like it. But when you go to the second day, you're going back to best 2 out of 3. The second day of the tournament is going to be the same, because at that point you've went to the best of the best, and I think you're going to need those 3 matches to really get the score right.
It's a little controversial. A lot of people are not liking the two game matches that have been more of your traditional TCG players. They don't like it because of the change. But we'll have to see how it plays out. And nothing's set in stone.
I think it's going to help a lot. Say that again?
They can always change it if it doesn't work.
Well, I think that brings us to the bigger problem they've got to figure out. Sunday morning, tickets went on sale for the Atlanta event. I wanted to go to that event. They went on sale at 11. I was on the app, which I told was a bad thing to do. I was not where I could be on a computer. At 11 o'clock, I clicked in, nothing. 11:01, I had 1 ticket in my box. At the checkout, the app booted me back a page. At 11:02, I was waitlisted. They only had 512 seats, which is a crazy amount of players to think. But can you imagine how crazy this game is?
Yeah.
If 512 seats were gone in 2 minutes?
I think they consistently underevaluate how many people really want to play this game.
Yeah.
But on the official Discord, and I might clip some pictures to add in if we're wanting to do some editing, or if we got time or whatever.
I can edit it if you send it to me.
But Rochelle Brady, who is, I think she's either PR or media relations, she has said that that's not the capacity to the event, and that they can expand based on need. So there may be additional tickets available, and I hope they will. I was told,
I read somewhere that some people that were waitlisted have already gotten tickets, but it was like a Taylor Swift concert. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see. I really enjoy it. But like for me, I'm going to try my best to go to one of the other ones. But
I think
right now, the only other one I can go to, I'm going to fly to Las Vegas. I mean, I'm not complaining about going to Vegas.
Vegas is fun.
Lorcana Dads in Vegas. There you go, Jason.
I've talked my wife into going to Chicago if I can get, because that was the only weekend that I had that was open for me, because I work 2 weekends a month.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only one that was open. So I've talked her into it. She's down. I've got to talk myself into the budget of going to that one.
Right. Hey, look into I've flown some through if you're doing a really short trip through the Yellow Plains. I flew to LA on the Yellow Plains. I cannot think of what they're called,
Spirit.
not Spirit, and it was not bad. I'm a big guy, the
Yeah.
seats are small, but that's a quick flight.
Yeah. I've had some problems with some budget airlines.
Yeah.
I
I
got
got you.
stuck in Las Vegas. I did go to Las Vegas a few years ago and got stuck. I got back home 36 hours after I was supposed to have departed. I actually had to fly to Atlanta and rent a car to drive to Birmingham to get my truck.
I've tried to talk. I'm looking to see if Katie's listening. I've tried to talk Katie into Chicago, but we leave for a 4-day cruise on the 10th.
Yeah.
So it would be me, if I play in Chicago, leaving Chicago, flying to wherever we leave on a cruise, and going, I just want to play in one of them.
Yeah.
Like, I think I can make Las Vegas work. But that, again, that's getting tickets.
Yeah. That's the thing is I told my wife, I said we would go if I could get tickets. And then we could work out all the other budget stuff later. I would probably rent a car because it wasn't too expensive. But barring that, I think the one in Fort Worth, I might see about that one in July 20th.
I may look into that one too, but we're supposed to be I won a game show, so we're supposed to be on another trip that week, but I may try to move it. Who knows? But I think it's been an interesting week, 2 weeks in Lorcana.
Yeah.
I have not played the game, which stinks, but I've kept up with everything.
Yeah.
And to me, it's really cool, the stuff that's happening. The fact that 512 seats to an event sold out in 2 minutes.
Yes.
The game, everybody's like, the game's going to fade. No, it's not. The game's not fading away. And then the reveals, we don't have time to discuss all the reveals today, but we'll do a special episode to talk about reveals as we get some more.
Yes.
But I will say we got the Madrigal family.
Yes.
We got
Encanto.
We got my girl Ursula. We got a whole game that we can play by ourselves.
That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
They're replacing,
so we can sit at home and play.
Replace the gift set with a player versus environment or a cooperative game.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see how that's going to go. It's got its own exclusive deck cards to go with that.
Mm-hmm. Which the borders were really cool, like the tentacle borders on the side.
Yes.
I mean, they know what they're doing. They're creating a game that we want to buy and we want to play. I know it all comes out. I'm telling everybody now, if you're watching and you're within Tuscaloosa on LGS weekend for that release, that is my birthday. We are going to have a Lorcana party. You got to bring a pack to get in. Anyway, so, and I've got paint all over me. I promise I hadn't been rolling around in the mud. So, anything else, Jason, we need to cover this week? I know this is a quick episode, but you and I are some busy dads.
Yeah. No, that pretty much clears it up. I would like to, we'll go in more in depth into the new Ursula return set as we get a little bit more information, and we'll go into more of these events as they start rolling out. I think Easter is the registration for the Chicago event. So I'll be trying to take a break and getting on my phone and hope it works out.
I was told, Jason, do it on the PC.
Well,
if anybody's trying to register, try your best to get on a PC.
Unfortunately, I have to work on Easter, so phone's going to be my best bet.
Yeah.
But that's PPG events, and Eventbrite is where you can go to get your tickets.
I am waitlisted for Atlanta, and honestly, I may go. Even if I don't get to play, I may go and do some Lorcana Dad coverage.
Yeah. Just go and see. I mean,
go spend a day over there.
Yeah.
There is an event, SCG Con in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Is April 12th, 13th, and 14th, and I'll be in Atlanta for my job and my daughter's dance competition that weekend. So there's 4 Lorcana events at that. I'm going to try to play in at least one of those.
Okay.
To get some more content for us and more stuff to talk about. So,
all right.
Well, Jason, I feel like
Huntsville Comic Con. I think I might go to that one.
When is that one?
I think it's the same weekend.
Okay. Anyway, we both may play in something. I feel like I haven't seen you in person in weeks.
Yep.
But this is the next best thing I got. I got to call you out real quick before we leave. I just realized last video you were drinking out of a chip cup. You got your chip coffee cup. I'm going to have to get something. So, yeah. See,
we're
sporting the Disney all the way around, y'all.
My wife's got a bunch of them.
Yep.
She's got the one from Be Our Guest that lights up. I might have that one next time.
Next time. I've got my Mickey Mouse coffee cup that I drink out of every morning. That was my mom's, so I'll have to pull that out. All right, Jason. Well, you go to work. I'm going to edit a video and go to bed. So,
All right.
I got to leave at 2 in the morning. So.
All right. Be safe.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see y'all next time on the Lorcana Dads.
Now, don't forget to smash that like button.
And hit that share for our friends on the other side.
And don't forget to turn on all those bell notifications.
And we'll see you on the next video.